The most powerful mythical creatures, ranked. Beings from mythology are fascinating. Since they have existed for so long, our culture has grown to love them even more. Let's start with the questions you are undoubtedly asking. What mythical monster has the most strength? Although there are many factors to take into account, most people would claim the dragons are at the top of the list. Today, we bring you the top 10 most powerful mythical creatures. Some of these you already know, some you've heard in movies and on television, and some you may not even know about at all. Believe it or not, some people believe these creatures exist. But don't be scared. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. Are you ready? Let's dive right in. Many people believe that these animals really exist. Some people consider themselves wiser and believe that mythical creatures aren't real at all because they've never been discovered in historical or archaeological places. Let's discuss the top 10 mythical monsters in terms of strength. First on the list is dragons. Dragons are a prevalent theme in many different cultures, and they are probably one of the more well-known mythical creatures. The Hydra, Dragonet, and African dragons are just a few of the many dragon types that have been described in popular folklore. According to Ramon Richards, it was thought that the various names of the dragons connected to various aspects of their traits. Western cultures frequently portrayed dragons as flying four-legged reptiles with a lethal breath of fire. Yet, they were more frequently described as extremely clever, four-legged serpents in the Eastern cultures. The fire that dragons breathe can completely consume a city, making them quite the spectacle. They have established peace with humans. According to them, they think they are invincible. They may be familiar with dragons from popular television shows and hit movies, including the fictional Game of Thrones. The names of dragons are conceptual descriptions of their traits. Several kinds of dragons exist. The African dragon, the dragonet, the standard Western dragon, and the Hydra are the available dragons for you to discover. Up next, the chimera. The chimera first appears in Greek mythology, and it was imagined to be a female monster from Asia Minor. The three-headed chimera, which had two heads, actually a lion's head and a body with a goat's head perched on top, and a snake's head for a tail. It wasn't a fire-breathing monster. Rather, the goat head was the fire-breathing element. According to tradition, the chimera was thought to be nearly unkillable, but Bellerophon was able to kill it by ramming a lead-tipped sword into her flame-covered mouth, causing her to choke on the molten metal. Since then, the term chimera has frequently been used to refer to beings that are composed of parts from numerous animals. Up next, vampires. Vampires are bloodsuckers. They are frequently rumored to exist, but there is very little physical evidence of them. They are of Eastern European descent, and vampires are similar to humans, although little is known about what they can and cannot do. Some claim that they appear as light as the morning sun, generating a lovely appearance. The most well-known vampire in the world, Bram Stoker's Dracula, had a pleasant disposition and a way of convincing or seducing his intended victim, despite having teeth with pointed edges. The inspiration for Bram Stoker's Dracula is Vlad the Impaler, a Romanian prince. These days, vampires are frequently found in popular culture. They appear in motion pictures, including the well-known Twilight Saga. No list of mythical creatures would be complete without including the clever vampire. Up next on our list, the Yeti. The yeti is believed to originate in Asia. Yetis are also sometimes referred to as Bigfoot. Over 300 years ago, what was purported to be a scalp from a yeti was put forward, but researchers now believe that it was another animal. There is little to no proof of the existence of the yeti. Researchers now believe that records of this creature from years ago are merely descriptions of common forest creatures. Next for your consideration, Medusa. The mythological character Medusa has come to represent strength and savagery. With just one look, she could turn someone into stone, literally. According to the Roman version of this myth, the Greek goddess Athena cursed Medusa, and as a result, the mortal was transformed into a hideous creature with snakes for hair rather than silk. Theogony argues that Medusa was in fact the lone mortal Gorgon's sister. The Greek poet Hesiod reported that Medusa and her sisters were endowed with special abilities at their birth. All of the mythological stories about Medusa have one common conclusion. Perseus kills Medusa by severing her head from her body, and after being beheaded with just her visage, the enchantress could still turn men into stone. Next on our list, the Oni. Japanese folklore describes individuals who are particularly evil during their lifetime. Some were so dreadful in life that when they entered hell, they were punished by being changed into demons. Others went one step further and were turned into demons while still being human. Onis are large, terrifying creatures that typically serve as servants in hell and have blue or crimson skin, tusks, and horns. They are in charge of punishing the wrongdoers and are hungry for everything, including people. Although there may be variations in how the Japanese Oni are portrayed or told, they are often thought of as strong antagonists that pose an immediate threat. Up next, the werewolf. A werewolf appears as a person, but has the power to transform into a wolf. Werewolves regularly feature in fables of old European cultures. It is thought that they live a life akin to witches in early Christian legends. Werewolves can be seen transforming from something human to something beast-like, growing stronger and shifting from one thing to another, giving mankind different ways to murder. There are numerous werewolf-related stories. A silver bullet, according to some, will be its only weakness. According to legend, werewolves are human and only turn during full moons. They are stronger than vampires and consume blood, although they resemble animals in human form. The legendary werewolf has featured in many fictional movies. Many werewolf stories originate from German fables. There are even considered to be 3 different subtypes of werewolves for you to discover. Next up, zombies. The ancient Greeks described zombies as dreadful and powerful animals with only the desire to kill and transform. To keep zombies from rising from the dead, their graves needed to be sealed with cement and stones, lest they rise from the grave to take more victims. Zombies feature in the stories of the Greek and Haitian people. The stories from the Haitian culture instill a sense of terror and mortality surrounding zombies. Zombie stories seem to originate from voodoo priests who had the power to resurrect the dead. Or at least so they thought in the 17th century. When zombies aren't terrorizing Greeks and Haitians, they end up in movies and series like The Walking Dead and 28 Days Later, making all of us afraid of them. Even more terrifying is that zombies are believed to travel in large groups. Some believe that zombies have been cursed. Others believe that zombies are never quite dead. Some believe that zombies can be brought down with a bullet, but either way, be on the lookout for walkers, runners, and ghouls. Second to last on our list is the griffin. The griffin is a powerful creature from Greek mythology. It has an eagle's body and a lion's or goat's head. These animals served as the defenders against bad spirits in Greek mythology. Griffins are said to be very intelligent, sometimes greedy, and often cruel to other animals. They kill by tearing their prey apart with their talons. Griffins are also said to be very swift and fierce creatures. As griffins defend against bad spirits in Greek mythology, you should be aware of them. They are formidable creatures that could one day be of assistance to you. And last but certainly not least, the fearsome chupacabra. One of the most well-known mythological monsters is the chupacabra. It's a canine-like monster that can transform into sheep, goats, or people. Due to its habit of killing livestock and consuming their blood, it is also known as the goat sucker. The chupacabra draws blood from its victims, making it a creature connected to both werewolves and vampires. This fabled creature has been mentioned in cultures all over the planet. According to reports, it has been spotted in Mexico and the United States, where it allegedly tried to take the blood from children's necks and terrified communities by screaming at night. And that brings us to the end of our video for today. I trust that you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave us a like. It goes a long way to encourage us to bring more content like this to you. You can tell us what you think of this video and how your life changed since you got richer in the comments section below. Until next time.